Good afternoon and welcome into Titan Talks. Once again, Kilgoon joining me alongside Manny to go through exactly what we don't know because it's Q&A session really today. Xbalanque dropped yesterday, and how's things been? Obviously, I've just come in, so
things are going pretty good.
Yep.
We ran into a couple issues. I think there was some balance stuff that was wrong.
Sure.
One of the big ones is that Xbalanque's ult is not like slowing right now.
It's been fixed this morning. I was about to go for
It was not fixed. It was not slowing. So I think everybody that was like sure that Xbalanque ult was going to be underpowered with this new version, they were proven right because it wasn't doing half of what it was supposed to do.
That's what we like to do, is try and prove them right for the most part. But yes, for those just tuning in or wanting to know, Xbalanque will now slow, should already be fixed in live already for you all. A couple of other things went out yesterday in terms of small fixes. You can no longer sell your chalice for full price again, unfortunately. So those using that little exploit, pretty useful. Also,
not in my store.
Devour's Gauntlets no longer triggers our fire imps, which is a small nerf to Rip Talon as well.
Yeah, I think like there was a reason to make them count as a boss.
Yeah,
but
it had knock-on effects.
It had knock-on effects, and we thought that it was going to be relatively small, but it ended up becoming quite large. So made that change. Also,
Heimdaller's Sight no longer has an issue, allowing it to update its location each pulse rather than just staying at one location.
Okay.
And small balance adjustments I see down there for Death's Embrace, and also fixed abuse case where Ra could proc items multiple times with enhanced autos such as Shield of the Phoenix.
Yeah. Okay. So I have some more words on that actually.
You do? Okay, cool.
I don't have maybe the most words, but I do have some words. So, I should have opened this beforehand, but I wasn't thinking.
No problem. While you're looking through that, though, chat, if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out in chat, and we'll try and answer what we can today. Kind of a slow case day because we don't have too much to show. Well, we don't have anything to really show today. That will be coming in the next week or two as we get closer to OB20.
Okay, so this is what I have.
Yeah, go for it.
For the Devourer Gauntlets, no longer counting fire imps for stat counts. We are aware that assists on bosses are also not counting, but that fix is more involved and will need to be in the next major patch, not the hot fix.
Okay.
So just be aware of that. In terms of just balance stuff, what I have, you said the Death's Embrace stuff is on there.
Yes.
So
yes.
the lifesteal
just as balance. So.
Yeah. So Death's Embrace starter upgrade, the lifesteal is going to go down from 7.5% to 5%. But increasing the strength from 35 to 40.
Okay.
Basically, the lifesteal was just a lot. And then Rip Talon, decreasing the attack bonus damage from 15 to 10%.
Okay.
And decreasing the base lifesteal from 10 to 7.5%. We think just kind of those two items combined were just giving people a lot of lifesteal.
Sure.
It was a lot. And, we definitely were aware that, hey, we live in a world without anti-heal now, right? And so we need to be very vigilant about things that are out of tuning balance regarding self-healing.
I think we need to keep just repeating that, really. Yeah. The idea is that the devs have already said there's not an idea of bringing back anti-heal, but we want to adjust the healing to make sure it feels viable, but not overly bearing where you have to have it every game. Yep. So I guess we're just going to keep touching those numbers to try and bring them in line.
Yep. And then the last thing, I have an explanation on the raw Divine Light. Basic attacks are now considered part of the Divine Light ability, meaning that items that proc once per ability will no longer proc on every attack hit.
Gotcha.
And there's a note that we are investigating a path that will let us apply the reduced proc damage tech used on Jormungandr to allow for multiple procs again, but at a reduced rate. But in the meantime, the self-sustain from this build path is just too much to leave it as it is in this balanced world. So definitely... hopefully that's a little bit extra context on what's changing here. And then I saw there was a question in chat, like, how do hotfixes differ from bigger updates? What makes something patchable on a hotfix versus like a big patch? So there's a lot that goes into it.
Sure.
The number one thing is like, there are some things that we can fix for everybody through a server fix, like a new version of the server that's running the game, and people don't have to download the entire game again. If it's something that we can fix with the server update, we're almost certainly going to do it as a hot fix during the patch. If something requires a client update, which means you have to download a new version of the game, it depends on whether or not it's important.
Critical
enough.
Is what I would say.
Yeah, critical is a good word. Like if there's something that's crashing, if there's something that's like, like a god isn't working like on a fundamental level or something, if things like that, we're more willing to do a client build for. But sometimes we'll wait until we have a couple things that we can throw into a client build so you aren't patching the game nonstop. So that's kind of some of what goes into that.
Yeah. And I guess some of that requires downtime as well in terms of we have to turn the game off to load it back up again, let people reinstall. So we try and avoid those, and that's why they come through regular balance updates rather than hotfixes.
Yep. Shibalanki on the God screen is too zoomed in. Yeah, that is something we're aware of. That's on the to fix list. I think that one does require a client build. So the next time we have a client update,
zoomed in Shibalanki. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, I see those bugs and I'm like, okay, yeah, they do need fixing, but I'm not gonna rush to get them done this minute. Let me see what I can see now. Did ward placements increase this patch? No, you can still only place 2 wards. You just got more access to wards available.
I think they're probably asking, are people placing more wards?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm going to say that just off the top of my head, knowing that we've gone through the system in Smite 1 where we gave everybody free wards, and we know in Smite 1 how many people were not using those wards.
I played a game this morning, Conquest.
Did you use it?
There were 4 people in the game that placed 0 wards.
And I'm guessing it counts as wards placed.
It counts as wards placed.
It counts as wards placed.
So, we're still
there's
I did notice more wards in the game.
What if we made it like Hansel and Gretel where you just automatically drop a ward after you travel a certain distance? I'm trying to think of ways of just forcing a ward to be placed.
There was, Kill a Jungle Camp, drop a ward in one of the starters was that way in Smite 1, I think, right? I know what you mean.
Eye
of the Jungle, maybe?
Yeah, it sounds about right. That was the only way junglers warded. That's true.
Yeah,
they warded their own camp. That's pretty much what happened.
I will say, anecdotally, yes, I am seeing more wards. I don't have specific stats on how much warding has happened. But it is funny to me that, even if you give people free wards with the new big thing on the screen, push this button, people just don't push the button. So, there are always going to be some people that don't ward.
Have we started thinking about Christmas skins yet? I guess you do have to think about it.
Yeah, we've started thinking about Christmas stuff.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's September. But I guess you've got to get ahead, right? So
the card art is already done for the Christmas skins. The voice packs have
not even
recorded.
Them?
No, because there's a pipeline.
Okay. I'm just saying, you can't say that out loud and chat's not going to be happy.
No, they look good.
Okay. They're on the way.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We have thought about them. Past thinking about them, I guess, is what we should be saying there.
In terms of skin pipeline, we kind of have to have a decent idea of what we're doing 6 months out.
Right.
Other things we can be maybe more flexible on, but things that are new content from scratch, there's a bit of a lead time on. So, a Christmas tree Sylvanas skin would be cool. My favorite skin in Smite 1
was the Christmas tree Sylvanas. It was good. It was good.
The voice pack is just
I think I personally just enjoyed the World War I one. I don't know why. It was just
really?
I like the voice pack for the most part.
That was okay.
I thought it was good.
I feel like he's got so many.
He has a lot of good
skins. You got the cactus one.
Mm-hmm. He's not even in the game though, so
yeah, I know. But I just saw somebody mention my favorite.
Oh, right, Sylvanas, yeah. I don't even know what my favorite one was. Christmassy skin. I guess the Sylvanas one is definitely on that list.
Mm-hmm. On Monday, you said you wouldn't do a daily quest to place wards. How about a daily quest to use your curios instead?
Same thing, isn't it?
Well,
just called curio, but yeah.
In the non-conquest modes, you do use your curio.
That is true,
right?
On occasion.
I would say it's still it would have to be a lower number than you would imagine, probably, because how many times in a game of Conquest are you going to use your battle cry, or excuse me, in a game of Arena, are you going to use your battle cry versus the amount of times that you would use the warding trinket in a game of Conquest? So it would probably have to be 3 times, or something really low. But maybe that's enough to get people interested. I think it's a fair idea.
Yeah. Make a note. I know you should have brought a notepad in today.
I try to remember to bring my notepad.
I've been doing it lately, but today
sometimes I don't.
When you said you did, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 is greater than 0. That's true. Cactus skin is a banger. You need more Western skin. Unfortunately, Western skins never sell in any of our games.
Really?
Every time we've done Western skins. I think that the Sylvanas one is a weird like slight exception because
Yeah.
it's like the guy's riding a cactus. It's kind of a funny skin.
Sure.
But like Cowgirl Artemis didn't do well. I forget what that skin's actually called. We did a whole like Western themed update, like a battle pass that was like a spin on Western stuff in Paladins. Worst performing battle pass we ever did. Western stuff is just like not popular, which is sad. I like Western stuff.
Yeah.
It
comes in and out of vogue though, like a lot of things from history. Like you'll go to World War II for a while, and then it will switch to Westerns or
Wrangler Artemis. There you go.
Wrangler.
Thanks for the reminder.
Someone would always know.
It's the Sylvanas one's an exception because I bought it on 300 Smurf accounts. That's funny. That's funny.
That's no. Can a Hindu man voice rant play after a match of ranked if you play 0 awards? So you just put something in the game that just shit talks them.
Yeah,
for
I like
just
that.
like not placing awards.
Yeah.
Sure. Like we would a BM Hindu man pack. I mean, we've not. To be honest, my original announcer pack was pretty rude, and they culled so many lines from it. And then over the years, other people released packs that were way worse than mine ever was.
There are things that you can do with UI design to have a similar effect, right? Like you could have if you play zero awards, you have like a frowny face, like
we have pop-ups to say, "Are you sure you don't want to place a ward right now?" During the game,
no, not during the game.
Not during that's a great idea. It's
yeah,
genius.
like there's
pop-up.
We could.
You've got 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
Maybe you should spend it on awards.
I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. 0 awards. Are you mad? Yeah. Can we remove the agility relic from the game, or at least never put it in ranked? Currently, that's not on. Removing it from the game is not something that we were planning on doing.
Yeah.
It was erroneously in ranked for like an hour when the patch went live, just due to a config issue. So if you played early morning ranked on patch day, you might have seen an agility relic or two in there. It wasn't intended to go live in ranked.
I wonder what the win ratio was.
That's what I was going to say.
1 hour, right?
I want to go back and see the data for
that 1 hour.
During that period, how did agility relic do? Because in casuals, it's not the best relic. Like
sure.
I know that some people can find it annoying to play against. I think but it's just kind of statistically not as good. Like, so I'm curious to see like the data of like in the ranked level, like how
I think you notice it more because it feels like a frustration level of like you'll feel it if somebody uses it against you. However, you won't remember it when they don't have beads for the next engagement or an Aegis or shell.
It's very visible of a thing that people are doing. And
I think it's very specific gods that can make use of it too. So
and I think that like there's also just like there's some people in the community that like to interpret our words in certain ways because we talk so much.
Twist them.
And they're like,
not twist them, but
Yeah, but they're like, well, you guys didn't like Combat Blink, but you let Agility Relic be? And it's like, Combat Blink, the problem with Combat Blink, from my perspective, the difference between the two, is that we are a third-person game, right? Like, I'm looking at my character like this. I'm not looking at my character like top-down.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at my character top-down and somebody blinks around me, I can track exactly where they're going. If they blink over a wall behind me, I don't just hear the sound. I can see what they have done, right? Yeah, it's a lot easier to track people blinking around in like top-down MOBAs that have that kind of thing. The difference for Agility Relic is that nobody can blink over a wall or anything to surprise you, and also you see them moving, and it's not instantaneous.
Yeah.
So you as a player can track what they are doing a lot better than you can. So I think it's like a better version of a more fitting version of that sort of effect for a third-person version of the game. So that's my take on that recurring hot take that comes from the community.
Any update on Fafnir, please? I must know something. I know we've announced so far Osiris, which we'll be talking about, I believe, next week is the plan.
Yeah, we'll talk about him on Wednesday. So we can
and then I'm pretty sure you said
we have not
talked about the next ones after that.
Yes, we will. So Monday of next week, we'll talk about the next couple gods.
Cool. Monday next week, you've just signed up for it.
Yeah, because we have to, because if not, it'll leak on PTS.
So. There you go. It already does anyway with certain things.
Well, PTS, we always have the we do the coming soon in the god screen of like who the next god is. So they'll just kind of pre-announce who the next god is.
So Monday, expect to find out who's next.
Yep.
On the list. I will say it's not Fafnir.
It's not Fafnir.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shadow Dragon. My bad.
We do the roadmaps on Fridays. It's a better day.
We're not going to get to argue why Friday's a bad day.
Yeah, I'm curious why, but
it just because it's Friday and I've got something great for the weekend to look forward to.
That's nice.
That's also true. But then we've got balanced stuff on Fridays. But we could. We'll see.
Is the next god after Osiris a female goddess? I can confirm.
Can you?
I can confirm that we do have a female goddess on the roster coming up.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's next.
I think it. No, wait. I think it is after Osiris. Yeah.
You're just leaking then.
Well,
you might as well just tell him today if this is the case we're going to.
No, that's like a very minor one, right?
Okay.
I am still, by the way, amazed at how many people are like comment on our Twitter that like, "Ugh, I'm so bored. I'm not going to play the game until another female goddess comes." I'm like,
okay.
I mean, I understand that matters to people, but it's like, I'm just surprised that like there's so many people that are
in that. I feel like some people have the feeling of I need a reason to say something negative, and that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. It's because there's no female god, and then the next one will be because there's not been a male god this patch. Like I don't know.
Yeah, people are always going to find a reason to be unhappy, but I think that like that's part of.
It's not Nike, no Buddha. That will not happen. I refuse to let Nike. I'm going to do my best. Chat.
Yeah. The one after Osiris confirmed
is a female goddess.
It's a female goddess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say his name, and I was like, oh, okay.
No. That's we got a little bit of time here.
You're welcome, SOT. No problem.
Yep.
Is it Fat Loki? I don't think it is.
I saw somebody suggest that we make a svelte Kabrakan.
Svelte Kabrakan.
Yeah, do you like the opposite skin for Loki? Like give Loki a Kabrakan skin?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
Will there be more than one aspect in the next update? I'm not sure. It kind of depends on development here over the next few days. There's definitely going to be the Osiris one, right? Because we previewed that, and we'll go through that more on Wednesday. I think that's probably going to be the only one in that update, but maybe more in later updates. How's the SMITE Cart Traveler selling? I'm still waiting that data with bated breath. We are one of our reports that we need to see exactly like reliable data on how well individual things are selling doesn't run until like the morning after, right?
Gotcha.
But
then it's only like 1 day's worth of data anyway, right?
Yeah, it's only 1 day worth of data. Yeah. So like I think the rough data that we had for it looked like, this isn't 100%, but it looked like it looked like the Artemis Saga sold a little bit better than the Vulcan Saga did day one.
Okay.
But a lot of the Vulcan Saga's success was that the sales had held up really well through the course of the update. So we'll have to kind of see how it does. But that looked like it did pretty well. I just don't have data on SMITE Cart yet until this report runs.
Where is the Queen Naga? Haven't seen it in many games. Has anybody else seen that today? Because I've seen a couple of reports come through of Queen Nagas not appearing. Chat.
Oh.
Let me know if you've not seen Queen Nagas in your game. I'll investigate what's going on. But that's like the third report I've seen in the past 30 minutes. So I'm guessing there's an issue with Queen Naga there. But let me know if you've seen some in your games today. 100% not spawning according to one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, we'll get that looked into. Clumsy's in chat anyway. I'm sure he's listening. If he's not, I'll talk to him afterwards.
Sorry if the question is not well written, but without being indiscreet, if you had the opportunity to hire new employees, what would be the departments prioritized within the studios? I believe that we actually have some roles open for FX right now.
Okay.
So that's an area that we
the big focal point right now. Yeah.
But yeah, if there is a need, we will, hire for it as needed. But I think that like FX is the area right now that we're still a little bit in need.
Everyone asks about SMITE 2, but no one asks about the team. So how is everyone doing at Hi-Rez?
I would say doing pretty well. I think it's been this is a very weird week here because I believe that this is Fulton County Schools vacation week.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people are out this week. If they have kids, they're Kabir's out, Jordan's out. A lot of people on the prophecy side are out.
Yeah.
And like some other people just have like stuff going on this week. So it's kind of like
it's been a mixture of, from what I know, vacations, bit of mixed in sickness as well over the last couple of weeks, which everyone's just been kind of under the weather.
Blake's working from home because he got something.
And we were great the other week, so like he's just been floating around for the most part. We're doing okay though. It's been a long year though, and a long grind to be honest, and like it's never really stopped so far. But that's not a bad thing. It is what it is, and the design of it. But it's it's been one of those getting to grips of the consistent flow of the entire year.
I think like that's one of the hardest things about like live service, games, and especially people that have worked on non-live service games and then try and come into a live service games company. I frequently like have a lot of trouble with just the pace, right? Because it's like, it's not like, and this is not to denigrate normal, normal game development, right? But you have more opportunity to just kind of like mess around and think about stuff because you aren't constantly trying to ship. Yeah. And then once you hit a milestone, you usually have a little bit of breathing room, right?
To work out what the next thing's going to be.
Or just like, I can kind of like conceptualize what I'm doing for a while. Whereas, in live service, you kind of just like, okay, on to the next thing. And I have to be planning what the next thing is while I'm building the current thing because otherwise, so it's just kind of, it's very constant. But I think that there's like certain people that like that kind of work environment, right? Like
the pacing of it, yeah.
Yeah, because I get bored really easily if I don't have things to do, like personally.
I'm the same way, yeah.
And I feel like most of the people that do well in live service are that way, right? Like pretty much all of my jobs I've ever had in my life have been very like fast-paced, on the go. Like I like being a waiter because it's like you're constantly juggling things between your tables and doing that. Like I was a newspaper reporter for a while, and it's like I got to turn in so many stories a day, and if I don't turn in so many stories a day, I don't have a job anymore. And it's like you constantly
keep pushing it. Yeah.
So
speed's important at times.
I see somebody asking about PS5 performance. We are continuing to look into PS5 performance. We have made, I would say, a lot of performance improvements over the past several months. There's a couple weird specific ones on PS5 that we are investigating. And I don't have like an exact update for you. One of the people that I mentioned is out this week is the person who's like kind of leading our charge on optimization. So, he's continuing to look into it. And, I think that, like I said, optimization in general is getting much better. The PS5 specific issues are something that we're still investigating. We have some leads on a couple of them. One of them is actually like a UI issue where there's a specific UI widget that like is very unperformant on PS5.
Oh, okay.
And when that UI widget is doing its thing, it can kill your entire frame rate. So one of our, I think in the next like sprint, one of our UI programmers is going to go back and look at that. But we're definitely working on it.
Lovato keeps asking for a 2 times worship per weekend. It won't be this weekend. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, though. We generally do them every couple of patches, so keep an eye out for them.
Are there any holidays coming up? Usually we try and do more holidays.
What's next? I mean, I'm trying to remember my Americanisms.
Labor Day already happened, right?
Yeah, that's one of your vacation days. Yep. Okay. Then you've got Halloween. It's not vacation day, but Halloween.
Not really vacation. Yeah.
And then you've got Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I believe
that's pretty much it. Okay.
That's on your list.
Veterans Day. When's Veterans Day? I should probably know that, but I don't.
Well, soon. We do them every so often.
Yeah. Do we have data on how many players reach Mastery 10 of a specific god? If that's the case, who's the most mastery god? We do have that data. I don't have it in front of me.
The most mastered god.
Yeah, I would guess it's Neith.
Based off the fact we had this conversation last week, which was what was the most played god, and she was on that list, I would argue she's probably one of the most mastered.
Yeah, probably.
But that's without the data, for sure.
Yep. Is it intentional that battle cry multiplies the protections lost from Necronomicon stacks?
I'll ask a dev. That's not an answer for me to answer, but I'll find out. Battle cry and Necronomicon. God, that word.
We want. My throat is killing me today.
Yeah, no, you should be coughing a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you get us sick again.
I know. I'm not sick. I swear.
I'm blaming you for last time.
I feel like I have like a frog in my throat.
Yeah, just stuck. Yeah, I get that.
I had one. Oh, the person wanted prisms of ice cream Ymir. What flavor of ice cream Ymir would you like?
I like mint chocolate chips, so we've already got that, so I'm kind of cheating there.
Okay.
What other ones would be good, though? I'm just trying to think of colors.
Visually, yeah.
Yeah, visually.
Give me like a Neapolitan, I guess you could do.
I mean, anything with chocolate just looks like poo at that point.
Yeah, chocolate's not the way.
It's not going to really work very well.
We could do like Rocky Road at least has like some stuff in the chocolate. I'm a big butter pecan fan.
Pecan, yeah, I've grown to like pecan just lately.
Yeah, cookies and cream is a good one.
Good safe one.
Good call. Lots of little cookie bits in there.
Just making notes.
Have we vetoed an item name due to being hard to say for casting or esports?
Yeah, once a way back. What was the names? We've had some weird names, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's definitely been one or two where you're like, we can't keep saying that out loud. I mean, to be honest, it's not really item names as such for the most part. It's more team names that causes the biggest problem, or player names where they try and be funny that end up causing. Like Paul wasn't necessarily the best one, but we've definitely had one called Freya.
Yeah.
A player called Freya
playing Freya.
Not playing Freya. His opponent was playing Freya. And then having that whole window of, and then it's Freya's best friends. You know what I mean? Is the team name. And you're like, it's too much.
It's a lot.
But it doesn't happen too often with items for the most part. But it has.
Do we have data on the most underperforming role in Conquest right now?
I don't even know you could do.
You can't do that.
You can't do it
because
it's a 5-on-5 and everyone's playing a role, so 50% win and 50% lose.
Max got sent down that rabbit hole one time trying to
find it.
Yeah, and he ran the report and it came back and everything was 50%. And he's like, "Wow, we did a really good job balancing." And then he was like, "Oh yeah."
Wait a second. There's always going to be two supports, so one's going to win and one's going to lose. Yeah.
That's what it's like. For brand new God balance, frequently we have to like.
So by role.
No, I was gonna say like, if you say like, okay, the new God is Xbalanque.
No mirror matches.
If Xbalanque is in every game, then it's a 50% win rate, right? But it's like, so you have to kind of exclude the mirror matches to understand what the actual like strength of the God is.
I guess it makes it a little bit harder until they get into ranked, but also finding those games that don't, because most day ones, day twos, you're gonna see Xbalanque on both teams. So, the new God is gonna be on both teams every time.
I saw this interesting thing about like how it's so hard to know like what football team is good because of entanglement, because like it like or because you don't know what player is really good, because it's like
football team. Okay,
it's like are they good because
they're on a bad team?
They're the best player on a bad team, or are they good because they work really well within the confines of the offense or the defense that they are running? Yeah. Or like, is this person really good because the person that's next to them is actually really good? Yeah. Like, so it's like it's always very interesting trying to, in team-based situations,
do the same thing,
trying to discern like what actually is strong and weak and who's good. And
I think that's why matchmaking is so difficult in a 5v5 game too. You can't sit there and go, did the support do well just because they died 10 times? They might have performed really well, but had 10 deaths sacrificing themselves, and not get the same SR.
I die way too much as a support, but
you feel like it was worthwhile, though.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to make plays.
Yep.
Like I'm not a.
Yeah.
I
get that.
I like getting in there. So.
Who is my least favorite God per role? Current? Oh, wait, do we do current or do we do total? What do you think?
I would say overall.
Overall, good save. Okay, overall. Nike Persephone. That was really easy. Nox in support. There's 3, and none of them are in the game, which is great. Which ones do I detest?
Were these your favorites or your least?
No, these are least favorites.
Okay, that's what I was. At first, I was like, you are a bad person if these are your favorites.
Persephone for sure.
But don't you love just like gently nudging people back into your tower as Nike?
As Nike?
Yeah. Isn't that just like?
I did just detest everything about her playstyle, to be honest. Okay. You know what the best thing about Nike is? Erosion.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That's the only reason I'm happy about her coming to the game, because I'm like, okay, cool, Erosion. Delete her. Erosion will be great. Erosion and Sunder. It's just combo.
Erosion's good in Smite 2 as well.
It is, and I do think it's underrated for a lot of people. It's great against Odin's, the Nemesis as well. Like even the Aspect Nemesis kind of shuts down their shields quite a bit.
Well, and even just like the starter selflessness, right? Yeah. Like it gives such big shields. Just taking those away is like...
No, it can be impactful for sure.
Anyway.
Slightly sidetracked. Didn't get to the others, but that'll do.
Yes.
My big 3. What about you? What's your worst?
My least favorite?
Your least favorite?
I mean, Nox has got to be up there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Arena Nox is just like
Arena Nox.
the worst.
Support
right?
Nox is exactly where I'm at with that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if there's any other gods that I'm just like, I hate playing against. Yeah.
It's for me, it will always be meta based because like sometimes they're in vogue and I'm like, oh no, another Ur because he's really strong right now. I hate dealing with that. Or it's something like that.
I always hate when I have a Giannis on my team
because they're bad.
Because they're bad. Without fail.
But on the enemy team,
they're good. Why?
Ass,
Every time.
That's pretty double.
Anyway, why are we not live on YouTube? It's horrible to get off work and join in 30 minutes late with zero ability to play from the start.
I apologize we're not live on YouTube. However, this VOD will go live on YouTube soon after the show.
Yeah.
As always.
We used to have some tech that would allow us to like simul broadcast, and we just don't have that working anymore. It had kind of been on our to-do list to get it set back up again, but we just haven't gotten to it.
Yep.
So, but that's why we stopped. So the tech that we were using broke, and we haven't gotten something new set up yet. What happened with not putting the newest ported god to ranked until it's balanced? I don't think we've done that with Smite 2.
No, we haven't actually. I think that's mainly the devs decided it's best just to throw them in there straight away. And obviously there's bans available in rank 2 for people to be able to ban it away if that was the case. But also we're doing quite effective hotfixes really quickly. So if there was something that comes up, I've definitely seen situations where we've had to disable a god for various reasons. So
yeah, I think like
we've got more tools to be able to remove the issues if they come up.
And I would say also just like in Smite 1, like it's really easy to look back with rose-tinted glasses, but like the number of times that we shipped a god and it was just completely broken on day one was incredibly high in Smite 1, right? So like putting something that is just completely broken into ranked was probably not a good idea, right? I think that in general, the quality of our releases has gone up quite a lot from Smite 1 to Smite 2. And we've also been able to be a lot faster, like you said, in addressing the things that are wrong. So I think we just feel more comfortable with, if there is something that's like horribly out of balance, at most it's going to be like a day of screwing things up, right?
Yeah, I think most of it, because of Smite 1, we weren't always able to just like turn things off on the fly as quickly and like just re-enable them later on with fixes in. This day and age, we've got a lot more tools with it, which is the benefit of Smite 2.
So. Donza arrow to get into the rocket is not showing on Xbox in Joust. Can you write that one down?
Yeah. Dan's a rocket not showing. What else we got?
It's more of a design one. I don't have an answer for it, but
I always feel like they give us design ones on these days, and we're like, well, we could try and ponder, but we can't give a definitive.
Can we remove self-root from Amir's freeze cast?
He can move while casting it those days, no?
No, he can move while casting his ice carpet, but not the freeze, right? The freeze.
Oh, right, yeah, sure. But I mean, you have to sense at a certain point. Yeah, tricky one.
I think that like, I can see the argument. I think that
You'd have
like
to stop to breathe, do you? I guess
he also just got so much other stuff that like if you gave him that too, it would just be
crit your maze out there.
Maybe a bit too much.
Terrorizing everybody still.
Clumsy says the anims would look really bad and he would slide based on the way he's moving.
Okay.
Pretty please can let us bind agility relic with the same button as our other relics. This has been on our to-do list. We just haven't gotten it done quite yet. We'll get to it eventually.
There is a note of that for sure.
Yeah.
Ever thought about doing a stats update on stuff like most picked guards, least picked guards, etc. for a Q&A 1 week?
Yeah, I think we definitely do that. We used to have like graphs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we actually still have a lot of those graphs. We just don't show
I could
them.
maybe whip one up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, I'm not saying like overnight. I'm just saying like maybe I'll do a little guessing game for us on the day.
I like
where
games.
Chat could play. Yeah. Especially when we've got a slow day like today, we could just do a bit of a QA of like, guess which one you think it is. Is it Neath? Of course it's Neath.
It's always Neath.
It's always Neath. When is it not Neath?
Sorry, I'm longer questions are sometimes harder for me to read.
Are tank items being looked at for buffs currently because of the high-end level, ranked play, prime play? The only viable build, it seems, for solo lanes currently is Devo's Lash Lifesteal. Dishonored, yeah, I know Pom Pom was talking about that with some of the Olympians today, so I know it's always being investigated and looked at. Just because it's been seen once in Smite Prime doesn't mean it's the only viable strategy, but everyone will always gravitate to it meta build. So... yeah, I do think there's other alternatives as well.
Yeah, I think there's other things that...
but everyone just likes the lifesteal because it seems OP.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely are aware of the feedback, I would say. There was I had one, but then I lost it. Somebody said the new ping animations look great. Thank you. This is the first person I've seen that has mentioned them. So
awesome.
Glad you noticed and you liked them. We were excited to get those finally updated because they had been temp for so long. Can we add console text chat during Christmas break for the 2-week process? We cannot because the consoles are also on Christmas break. So they will not certify anything while they are gone. And that's kind of the whole reason why we have to take a break. So I like the thought. That's something that we had thought of, but alas, is not a thing that we can do. Because... there'll be a longer break between December and January. Is it possible to tell us the rest of the gods coming this year in the end of October? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that probably the next one will still just give you the next 2, most likely.
Okay.
And then we'll think about it from there. We do feel pretty confident about like the list through the rest of the year, but I just I hate getting too far out, and I want to see them a little bit further along before I say too much. So yeah, I would expect on Monday we talk about the next.
I mean, I will say I've noticed even this year we've changed the pipeline a little bit of adjustments as well, so it makes sense not to release every single one because things have changed. So.
Yep. In the new Godlike UI, will we get everyone gets a ban in ranked, or is it going to be the same? We are planning to move towards the simultaneous banning with the new UI. So
okay,
spoiler.
You have spoiled. That's a big spoiler today.
Big spoiler.
Too.
Yeah.
Simultaneous bans once again.
Yeah.
So now instead of having 3 bans each, you're going to get 6 bans total, and it's going to be the same 3 bans on each team because that's all you ever do. Good job, chat. You got what you wanted. Less bans.
It speeds up the start of the game a lot, though.
No, it does. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people are like, man, we need more bans. Okay, everyone gets a ban. Cool, you all ban the same thing, so you get less bans.
Yep.
Amazing.
Let's see. Then can we get 5? Yeah, so the way it works, the way that simultaneous banning works is that everybody on each team
gets one ban.
Right? So it is 5 bans per team.
But you don't know
what the
enemy team is going to do.
Yeah, you're banning at the same time the enemy team is banning, so you don't know what they're banning. So frequently there are some level of banning overlap.
Yeah.
As part of this, however, the one of the requirements for playing ranked will go to you have to own 20 gods, because otherwise
you get banned out.
You could potentially get in a situation where you couldn't pick a god. Do you ever think about reactive skins in Smite? Example, go on a killing spree and your skin changes in some ways. You know what skin actually does that? Chalk. Chalk gets bloodier.
The bloody Chalk skin? Yeah,
the more
the slaughterhouse one?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And I believe...
Was it about many of the skins like that?
I don't think it was.
No. Slaughterhouse was really early too.
Yeah, it was one of the earliest. So when that comes back as part of the reaping here, I do believe it will have that tech. So
okay, we can maybe look at more.
It will get bloodier as you kill people.
You just got to kill people first, not just live, which is what Chag does.
Mm-hmm. When we got the skins from Game Pass, we did not receive the Smite 1 version. Was that intentional? Yes, it was a Smite 2 Game Pass drop, not a Smite 1 Game Pass drop. And the way that, getting more technical, the way that Game Pass works, it's not like it's something that is permanently added to your account, which is what it's needed to be like cross-gen, cross-progression. So that's why it's a Smite 2 thing.
At what number of gods will the team have enough breathing room for making new gods? It's a tough question, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
I think the problem is that everybody wants their god back, right? Is the first problem.
Yeah.
And whichever one you leave behind to focus on another one, you're going to get complaints as well, which is a problem.
I think that right now we just feel like the best bang for the buck that we can do is just focus on getting the classic gods over, sooner than later. And
it's not that we don't want to do new gods either.
No.
It's just
like we have several new gods in various stages of development, but we just have been working more on classic gods recently because I think it's been pretty consistent feedback from players.
That's where the demand has been. Yeah,
that's what they want. And I think that this is my personal opinion, and you can have a different opinion. That's a great thing about the world. But I feel like with the +1s and the aspects and the way that we're releasing them on this cadence, I've found myself like rediscovering gods, or even getting really into some gods that I didn't play much in Smite 1 days.
Yeah.
Like I honestly played Pele maybe like 5 times ever in Smite 1, right? Like I got her to Mastery 1 and I was like, cool, I never have to play her again, right? Like, and I've been super into Pele in Smite 2.
Enjoyed her a lot more.
Yeah, and maybe I would have enjoyed her in Smite 1, but I just was doing other stuff or whatever. But like, I don't know, I feel like there's been a lot of gods like that where it's like, I didn't really care that much about it in Smite 1, and then when it comes out in Smite 2, it really feels like a new god to me.
And I guess with the +1s and the aspects, it gives you more, variety or something that was missing for you to engage with it in the first place.
Yeah,
too,
I mean, like we turned Kali into a hunter. I mean, come on,
we did.
There's a lot of the same thing with Agni, right? Like, I think that there's a lot of like really game-changing things that we have done between them, where it's like it's the same god, but it's not the same god. Mm-hmm. It's a new twist on something that you love, which is kind of our goal, being a sequel to a game that people care a lot about.
Yeah.
So. I think we're just gonna keep grinding and putting out more gods as quickly as we can, and hopefully y'all have fun with them as they come out. What's the best item in Smite 2 nobody is buying? I might actually be able to look that up in a second if you give me a minute.
Yeah, but that's so. It's opinion based though, so you got to look at the item list and go, "What's not being bought?" and go, "This one."
That's what I was thinking.
Okay,
I don't know,
because I do think it's opinion based too, for sure.
I can
right?
find it.
Like,
oh, not that. I mean, it is because like
there's definitely been items that have flown. I still think prophetic cloaks.
I think the least purchased item is still what's it called? The active that
wards.
Get it.
Thanks. You're welcome. It was a hard one.
What's it called? The active that like stasis everything.
Oh, Scepter of Dominion.
Yeah, that is by far the least purchased item in the game. I don't know what its win rate is like, but a lot of times
it's because it's a great item, but it's just tricky to use at the right time. And if you're gonna get it, you're probably gonna be in the supportive role rather than a damage role, because you're gonna lose damage by doing it. But I mean, I've seen stuff like Scepter of Dominion into Vulcan ults, where the Vulcans drop Scepter of Dominion to stasis everyone, then fire the ult so it times. But yeah, Scepter's definitely low on the list. But has a lot of knockbacks too. Or drawbacks, I should say. Eye of Providence. I think Eye of Providence was underrated. I don't know where it is right now after this patch drop.
Definitely was underrated. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I'm sorry. I can't remember what the name of the channel is, and it's hard to look.
Sphere of Negation. That's also a good one that's underrated.
Yeah.
Good amount of magical defense on that.
Sorry. Let me look one more place, and if I can't find it.
Will Slaughterhouse Shack be added to the classic skin gem chest after the event? I believe the case is yes.
I'm not sure. I think that like I'm just not sure what the plan is exactly. Okay. I think that like we have some classic like skins that were more part of an event that stay as just as classic, part of that for a while before they. For a longer period or something before they end up in the classic skin chest or something. But I just don't know the exact timing. Almost
the exact dates and times.
Yeah, it's like, we still have the Zeus Darkheart skin, for example, right? Like, so I don't know the exact timing on it, but I would assume at some point it definitely will. Yeah, I can't find this. I'm sorry. I was trying to find the item stuff. I can't remember what the name of the channel is. Oh, well.
Is the new items placed for the next OB? I do not know. I do not know if there's new items in there. I've not seen Pon and Clumsy to let you know. I'd be leaking anyway.
Best advice for a Smite player with a child on the way: ignore and play Smite. Do not ignore your child.
But the child's on the way, so he's not ignoring him.
Oh yet, no, right? If the kid's on the way, get as much smiting in as you can.
Okay, but what about the missus? Like you can't just.
No, I mean you gotta help your wife, but a lot of you gotta basically like. You gotta
abuse the free time.
You gotta get the kids' room ready. You gotta rub your wife's shoulders and get her ice cream, and but she's doing most of the hard work at this phase, right?
So abuse it.
But
play Smite.
Yeah, But once the baby comes out, right? Like, it's your job to take care of the baby, right? Number one responsibility, take care of your baby, right? I found that, like, I have 2 kids, right? I found that, like, after I had kids, right? Like, I play SMITE a lot more, like, after they are, like, asleep for the night. And when they're little, they don't really go to sleep for the night, right? They go to sleep for, like, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at a time, right?
So you can get an arena game in if you're lucky.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So, like, don't start a game unless your kid has just gone to sleep. Play a game, then try and get some sleep yourself. That's my strategy. My one actual, like, fair dad advice, right, is that, like, first, like, at least 3 months, probably 6 months, super rough. You're going to be like, why the hell did I do this? Like, it's very challenging because, like, all they do is, you know, they cry and they eat and they sleep, and, you know, and it is, and you don't get any sleep because they're up all the time. But once they start to, like, become not a potato and become, like,
not a potato.
Well, like,
less of a potato. Yeah,
less of a potato. Like start, like, you know, reacting to things.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Like, more kids are great. But, like, you just gotta tough it out for the first 6 months. And then, like once your kids are a little bit older too, then they just, like, sleep through the night mostly. So it's like my kids go to sleep at, like, 7, and then I can just play games all night. And then they wait, like, my son is, like, 8 months old now, and he usually wakes up, like, once, maybe twice a night. So, like, he goes to sleep at, like, 7. I can play games until, like, midnight when he wakes up, feed him, then go to sleep, and then wake up in the morning, kind of thing. So it's workable. The first 6 months are not workable, though. That's just, you're not going to play much for your first 6 months.
Kibsy says, what if I'm pregnant? I am the one who wants to play SMITE game. You play all the SMITE you want.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, that's the rules.
Yeah, sorry for the familial advice.
No, sure.
Tangent.
Ever consider running a contest for designing an aspect for a SMITE 2 god?
Oh, that's fun. I would say we could. I would say some of the constraints that we operate around on aspects are maybe, like, less obvious to players.
Yeah, so they might come up with a great idea, but it might be too difficult to implement or something like that? Or?
Yeah, just beyond the scope of what we would consider as an aspect, right? So some of the big things about aspects is, like, we try not to change any of the animations.
Yeah.
Like, some of the timings maybe you could change a little bit, but none of the fundamental animations. We try not to change FX. If you're going to change FX, like, one ability at most for FX changing. And generally speaking, we try not to change every ability in the kit, right? Because then it's just kind of a different character.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want to keep the identity of the character kind of the same, but with a big spin on it. So usually we try and do that by touching 2, maybe 3 abilities. So we could potentially put out the, like, here's the bounds to operate within.
Yeah.
But I think it could be fun.
I think the hard part, though, is, I guess it's similar to when we've done skin stuff as well before, is that people have personal opinions and favorites, and not everyone's going to agree because we are free humans.
Yeah, dude. Whenever we did, like, the tier 5 skin voting, it was always, like, 60-40, you know?
And then people would say we cheat. Or, like, we
or
didn't
like,
choose it. It was like,
I'm not going to buy it now because you didn't elect the one I wanted. And that's kind of why we stopped doing it, because it was like, you pissed off as many people as you made happy. And we... You know, we're in the business of trying to make as many people happy as we can most of the time.
Accurate.
And just by the nature of being a game in 2025, there are going to be people angry at things that we do. And, like, can we minimize that a little bit while we're leading into the fun? Yeah, we mentioned earlier Shibalanke being really zoomed in. No issue. We'll get that fixed at some point here. It does take a client build, I think, so not soon.
Did the Honest bug portals get fixed? I believe most of the Honest... I'm trying to be careful with saying this, but I do believe the Honest is in a fine state right now. If you've seen any of our bugs recently, please send them in to us. Smite2.com/bugs. Send them in. We are taking a look, but I do believe the Honest is in an okay spot right now. Cough, cough. I'll be wrong, probably, but...
Can we get different cast types on the same stance switch ability? Instant cast on Uller Jump, but normal cast Hail of Arrows. I don't know. That sounds difficult for us.
It sounds difficult. I'll put it on the list to mention to people.
It's a good question. It's a good question. I don't have an answer. Why are you guys so cool?
I don't feel cool.
I'm not cool.
I've been far from cool for far from long. Is kind of how I feel about it. But sure, yeah.
But I'm glad you enjoy watching
I'm
us
not hot for a change, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it is September in Georgia,
Yeah, it's
which
starting
is
to be nice weather.
It'll stay this way for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then it'll rain and monsoon, and then it'll turn to cold ice through Christmas. So.
Yep. Can we get a practice room so we can play with our buddies while waiting for a game? Queue times are so long. So we did some initial like exploratory work on that. I think there's just like some weird edge cases about like if queue pops while transitioning between things get stuck, and solving those were a little bit harder. So it's not like, hey, we're never going to do it, but it was just kind of like this is going to be a bigger arc of work that could take an indeterminate amount of time to solve, and we'll come back to it. But I think we were like maybe relatively close on it at one point.
I think some of it, again, it kind of goes back to what we've been saying of like, it is probably on the pipeline of things we want to investigate doing, but just further down the pipe, further down the line of things that we're trying to focus on to get ready, and continue to push on. So,
Is strange minion pathing being looked at? Sometimes minions will stray from their path without any enemies to aggro them. If you have any clips of like weird minions, we definitely would like to see them. One of the big areas we've been working on optimizations recently has been minions. Minions are one of the least performant aspects of the game, because needing to, animate that many minions simultaneously and keep track of their AI and everything. So we've been making a number of optimizations to them. And if there are specific things that, are bad, please send them along. A lot of times, like everything, like 90% of doing a thing is really obvious and easy and improvements. And then the last 10% takes, 80% of the time or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like finding those last little edge cases that minions are behaving erratically with the new system would be great.
See, if you mentioned the in-game leaderboard not updating, I will have that investigated. Try and work out what's going on there.
You know what it probably was? We had some credentials expire on recurring database jobs last week.
Okay.
Or 2 weeks, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and probably that was one of them.
Okay.
So I would bet it's that, and Blake could probably get it sorted. Is my guess.
Don't say his name out there. They'll blame him then.
Hotfixes. They don't know who he is. It's fine.
You just said his name.
Well, there's a lot of Blakes in the world.
Okay. The Blake. There's only one Blake in my world. That's for sure.
We used to have so many Blakes. Do you remember that?
We did.
We had like 5 Blakes at one point.
Common name.
Is there any update to allow us to direct purchase announcer packs? Not yet. We definitely we just still don't have the UI to support selling those things individually. It's not, that we're being shady about it or anything. It was just don't have a good way of selling them. The best way to bring it back in the game was to put them all into a chest. We'll continue to investigate that at some point in the future. The elephant in the room, Kumba win. This is the first time that Kumba Karna, I think, has been asked about in the history of this show.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, and I looked this up recently. I think our 1-year anniversary of the show is in like a week or two.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's like October 4th, I want to say.
You've been doing it for a year?
For a year.
Okay. That's crazy. It's been going this long.
Yeah, so...
already.
Yeah, so anyway, sorry, I just was like... I think that's the first time Kumba Karna has been mentioned. I enjoy Kumba, but I just calling that out. It's been a while.
Yeah. I think he suffers from the whole DRs himself situation.
Yeah.
Diminishing returns of all his abilities. But a lot of people don't enjoy being slapped.
Yeah, and it's like you don't... you can't buy the tick items on him,
Yep.
like...
Or teammates caught by tick items when they're near him, sort of thing, because it can have a knock-on effect.
Kumba has been mentioned. I missed the chat. Okay, sorry, chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Get it right.
I will say, funnily enough, Kumba is in that new Auto Battler game.
I thought you were going to say like he's on the list. Yeah. He was named that back in.
He's called like
Hand of the Gods.
Yeah, Cardicon or something instead.
Yeah.
So
I saw him named differently.
I don't know. The dev team for that game decided that they were going to change his name and use one of the skin models instead of base Kumba. So anyway, I'm looking forward to when we can show that off more. I think the most recent build of that's actually gotten pretty fun, but we'll stay tuned for that, I guess.
When it's
ready. When it's
in the oven a little bit longer.
After ranked games, SR gained and lost is not showing. We can take a look at that.
Sure.
Write that one down. Would we ever consider a playable Minotaur character? I would say, given the community reaction to our playable
monster type characters, is that what you call them?
No, I was just going to say specifically Marticarus. Yeah, like I think that it would kind of fall in the same world as that, where people would not like it. So probably not.
Let's give him a minute. We don't even have Chiron in yet. Come on.
Chiron or Chiron?
Both. The boat and the four legs.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Marticarus mentioned I am Ascendant. Okay.
That's all we're going to do is just say his name.
What was your favorite adventure from SMITE 1?
Honestly, I thought the carts were really interesting for a change of pace.
Yeah.
Clumsy's going to love that. Just because it was so out there of left field of we just did a smart cart game. But I thought the Hercules adventure was pretty good.
Yeah.
Where you could team up with friends and do
Yeah,
those. I thought those were pretty... I think they were really good little takes on like PvE Smite to an extent of being able to play with your friends and do something fun. But then just like everyone will break you with meta builds of like, oh, you've got to build this to make it happen and stuff. But they were entertaining.
I think that's one of the reasons why like people like roguelikes so much now is that like it's hard to force a meta build and you're just kind of forced to like...
That's why roguelikes are... I mean, MOBA is a roguelike to an extent, but the difference is it's almost like you can force yourself down the same path over and over again by going, I'm going Devs Clubs every single game first time. You don't have to do that, but everyone thinks it's the most optimal way to play. And then, I think the one that started to me was the Hercules one, but it was Jingten's Mountain in the end that became over time. Because like I remember a few variations. I think Jingten was probably the most cleanest version of it, but that was after multiple times of doing them as well, where we'd learned a lot over the time.
Yeah, I like those were kind of more like boss rush, you know. Yeah, those were kind of fun. But yeah, I thought that whole like the PvE ones. I thought
when you run around the whole map and stuff was kind of cool.
Most popular ones were whenever we put holes in the ground in arena.
That will always be like pushing people in. Yeah,
holes in the ground in arena. So
put holes in the map and kill people.
Yeah.
It's funny even to this day. Like I know like Fire Giant Wall, for example, is such a new addition that's very similar to that hole in the ground almost, but it's just not as... I don't know, I wish there was a button on that wall that you could push and make the doors close on someone. That would be cool. So you CC them and then push the button. In
Awesome Knots, there's a couple like things like that where you can... That's a great game.
It is a good game.
Did I tell you that you can play it again?
No? Okay.
Yeah, they somehow they got the servers working. So
okay.
It's I don't think there's very many people playing, but it's still fun. Paladins had... there were some maps that was like if you throw them off the edge of the map they die, you know, very similar to other ones. And there were some maps that had just like there's like a kill volume in the middle of the map near the capture point. Like there's the mine level.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Where
those edges you can push off.
Yeah, it's like maybe if we put like random kill volumes into the conquest map, I think people would really love that. So.
Well, it is 1:59.
Oh, is it?
That's crazy. Fast. It has been pretty quick today. Apologies we didn't bring too much to the table today, but we covered a lot of different random subjects.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll be back on Friday.
Just a fun chat day.
To cover over more, but before that...
We got a busy week next week.
We do.
Yeah. So
is that the plan? So Monday next week, you can unveil the new gods.
Yeah, Monday next week we'll talk about...
Wednesday you'll talk Osiris. Yeah. And Friday we'll discuss balance.
Yeah, and Osiris and the other stuff in the update, kind of be the update show on Wednesday. And I know that you guys saw Osiris a little bit already, but we'll
dive a bit deeper and go over it again.
Talk through the details.
See what's changed too. But in the meantime, it is now dead on 2, and it's time for one
more question. I was late today.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was reading. I was trying to find my question.
Can we get the smallest capital letters pinch of salt teas for the New Year conquest? What does that mean?
I think that
conquest.
I think that there's like there's like a percent. Like some people think that like
there's gonna be a huge.
There's like a huge like new season overhaul or something that's planned for January right now. I would say not at this time. You know, right now we're putting everything we can into like making the game better every update.
Yeah,
and we're not quite at the point where we feel like let's hold up and make like a bigger
reveal
season kind of thing, right? Yeah. So I would say like, the current plan is keep on keeping on and making the game better every day. And stay tuned for that.
Okay.
I got to pick a question now.
You do. I kind of picked a question. You answered it. So
no, it's
I didn't have the answer anyway. So.
I'm gonna take this one. It's a relatively easy one, but just kind of maybe a fun one. I think that. So, are there any SMITE 2 changes that you were surprised at how well it was received by the community? And I think that like the things that surprised me the most about people, how well they were received. Was the notion of the +1s to gods.
Yeah.
Those were initially kind of I would say a smaller part of what the plan was, right? The thought was that like some gods would get +1s, but it wouldn't be all or even necessarily most. But from the initial reveal of the game, that was one of the parts that resonated the most with people. So we really went in on that and made it a priority to, do that for all the gods. I think another one that's kind of been surprising to me is just like, especially because it's changed, was that the initial version of hybrid scaling that was also hybrid damage, people kind of hated, right? Like we got so much negative feedback about it. So we did away with the hybrid damage. And then I think we were like, I don't want to say gun shy, but a little bit like, okay, we don't need to go super hard onto hybrid scaling. We still think it's got value, but the community isn't maybe 100% on board with it. Let's
dial it back
a little bit. And then recently it seems like if we do a god that doesn't have some crazy weird hybrid scaling, people are like, what is this boring god? So people have really like
grown to expect it and become accustomed to it.
Yeah. Okay. So and then +1s are like when we add something or change something about the god as we bring them over from SMITE 1 to SMITE 2, right? And the aspect is like the other new different thing. Like we were the team internally was super excited about aspects when the idea first came up, and I'm glad that the community likes them as much as we do. But that one was kind of one of those, we think the community is going to be really into it. But I think the two things that were most surprising to me were the level of interest in the +1s and the kind of changing perspective on hybrid scalings. So,
that's it for today. I believe that's the end of the Titan Talks for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back on Friday with another Titan Talk, and we'll go over a few more things about what's going on. But in the interim, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you all on the battleground. Bye.
Bye.